Third time in the last 4 years, 3 rookie quarterbacks will start week 1. 2021, it was Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, and Mac Jones. 2023, it was Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, and Anthony Richardson. This weekend, on Sunday, Caleb Williams for the Bears, Jayden Daniels for Washington, and Bo Nix for Denver. And really, when you look at 2023 and 2021, it's a .333 batting average. Now, Richardson could still turn it around, and he expects to this year. Bryce Young could still turn it around, and we don't expect him to this year. Zach Wilson and Mac Jones are backups now. So just starting week 1 does not mean you have passed the test. There's still a 66.6667% chance that you will fail.
And thanks to everyone in the room there for this stat, because it's a great one. The last rookie to win in week 1 was Sam Darnold in 2018 against the Lions. I would not have guessed that at all. But that's what it is, Mike. It's been a long time since a rookie quarterback has won in week 1. They're not very good in openers just because it takes a while to develop in this game. C.J. Stroud had a great season last year. He didn't beat Baltimore in week 1 last year. It takes a while to get going for a rookie quarterback. It's different than the preseason. They're going to find that out.
Rookie quarterbacks are 16-35-1 in openers, 0-7-1 the past 5 years. Let's start with the first overall pick in the draft, Caleb Williams. The Tennessee Titans come to town. The Bears are favored by 3.5 points. It is the largest rookie point spread. Wait a minute, let me try that again. It is the largest point spread. I blame the sleep deprivation for a rookie in week 1 since Terry Bradshaw all the way back in 1970 when he was playing for the Steelers. I'm surprised, but I'm not. And I think that the Bears will win and the Titans will cover. I think we picked it 23-20 yesterday. And by the way, Sims and I both picked 27-20 last night. Nobody cares except us. But we were very happy when we realized the Isaiah Likely touchdown didn't count. We were like, holy crap. We both got lucky and picked 27-20 as the final score. So I think that the Titans are better than people realize, and the Bears might not be ready to waltz right into the postseason. There's a lot of hype and a lot of pressure and expectation, but it is going to be different in Chicago. They have not had a high-end offense in our lifetime, Charean, or for more than a few years before we arrived on the planet.
Sid Luckman's last season, Mike, was 1950. He went into the Hall of Fame in the great year of 1965. So it has been a long drought for the Bears to have a truly great quarterback. Since then, last 60 years, Mike, they've had 3 Pro Bowl quarterbacks. 2 of them are pretty easy. Can you name 2 of the 3? I wouldn't have gotten the third.
Well, Jay Cutler is the no-brainer. And probably Jay Cutler wasn't a Pro Bowler?
Nope.
Wow. Well, let's see. How about Eric Kramer? Did he make it?
No.
Wow. Well, who the hell else would it be? Jim McMahon?
Yep. Jim McMahon in 1985.
Yeah. Well, because the Bears were so good. So that makes sense. Who else?
Trubisky in 2018.
Uh-huh.
And Bill Wade in 1963. I have to admit, I had no idea Bill Wade. So I wouldn't have gotten that one.
Lord. Well, we talked earlier this week that, Caleb Williams could set the franchise single-season passing record this year because it's 3,838 yards. Devin McCourty called out the back room. He thought there were factual errors in our statistical recollection and research. So, no, that's the truth. 38-38 is the all-time single-season passing yardage record. The Bears are the only team that does not have a quarterback who has thrown for 4,000 yards in a single season. The high water mark is 38 from 1995 by said Eric Kramer. And look, who knows when you're dealing with a situation where the defense is game planned for you. But Williams looked special in the preseason. And that moment where, it was a sluggish start in one of the preseason games, but I think we learned from Hard Knocks there was an issue with the communications. And then once they got that settled, he really does play like Mahomes. I do believe, because he was 16 when Mahomes arrived on the scene, he was influenced by this awakening that we all had, that you can play quarterback in a different way and be successful. And you can do things with your body and do things with your arm that we see shortstops do. And it's worked for Caleb Williams, and I think it's going to work for the Bears.
Yeah, I do too, Mike. I had them as a playoff team, and I think they will be, but it all depends on Caleb Williams. First rookie quarterback to have 1,000-yard rusher and 2,000-yard receivers. And it's great offense that he's walking into. That defense, the second half of last year, was a top 5 defense. They were very, very good. I think they're going to be better this year. So he's got all the parts, but it's going to come down to how he plays, how the offensive line can block for him, and then ultimately how he plays is going to determine the Bears' fate this year. And we saw it last year. We just talked about the top 2 picks last year. Bryce Young didn't get it done with the Panthers, and CJ Stroud did. So now with what Stroud's done, everybody's expecting their rookie quarterback to walk in and play just like that. We saw it last year, and it's not that easy, and it won't be that easy for Caleb Williams. I think he's going to be very good, but it's not going to be that easy.
And that leads us to the next game, the debut of the number 2 overall pick in the draft, the Heisman Trophy winner, the guy that all of the SEC defensive players, when we met with them at the Combine and said, who's the toughest guy you've ever faced, it was Jayden Daniels, Jayden Daniels, Jayden Daniels. Commanders taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the woefully underrated Buccaneers. Daniels, to me, is in a situation that tracks better to C.J. Stroud than Caleb Williams, beyond the fact that it's the number 2 overall pick each year, Stroud last year and Daniels this year. Stroud benefited from low expectations, anonymity, go about your business, 1 o'clock Eastern every week up until week 18. Now, look, the Commanders get started at 4:25 Eastern, but no one's going to be paying attention to that game. It's Cowboys, Browns, and if you haven't heard, Tom Brady making his historic debut as a broadcaster. They've set the bar for that guy as high as they possibly could. Good luck, Tommy. So while everyone's focused on that, the Commanders will be playing the Buccaneers, and it'll probably be delayed by storms. Why do you start a game at 4:25 Eastern in Tampa in September? I don't know. But Jayden Daniels, I think, has a chance to be really good. And it was between the Bears and the Commanders for me, stealing one of the low playoff spots on the playoff tree that absolutely means nothing except to us and only for a short period of time. I think the Commanders are in a better position with Jayden Daniels to have an impact this year because the division is not as difficult as the division Caleb Williams is in.
Well, he does have an opportunity. I agree with you. And I do think he's special. And I think we're going to see that right away. He has a chance to do, I think, in this game, Mike, what RG3 did in his first game. If you remember, 40-32 over New Orleans. It was a great game, 320 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He had a 139.9 passer rating, was just outstanding in that first game out. And who knows what RG3 would have been if not for the knee injury late that year. But he has a chance to make that impact right off the bat with this team. And I agree with you. They've got a chance because nobody's talking about them. Nobody's, except you, had them going to the playoffs. But I think they could be that team that sneaks in there and ends up with a wild card berth. Something they haven't done since they won the division with the 8-8 record a few years ago. But they've had 12 different starters in the last 6 seasons. This guy is going to make 13, obviously, but I think they found their franchise quarterback, and I think he's going to be there a long time.
Actually made the playoffs with 7-9, not 8-8.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So
losing record.
And I'll be completely transparent. I picked the Commanders to make it to the playoffs just because I knew it would make Gary happy. And as a Commanders fan, there aren't many occasions for happiness. But they may be coming because I do believe in Jayden Daniels. And in any other year, he would have been the first overall pick in the draft. All right, Broncos at the Seahawks. Another game that will not be noticed. 2 years after these two teams started the season in the same spot on Monday Night Football with a pretty significant game with Russell Wilson going back to Seattle for his first game out of Seattle. This is the dreaded 405 regional broadcast, which will be seen in Denver and Seattle, and that's it. But those who do get to see the game will see Bo Nix making his debut and the first rookie with the C on his jersey since long before they even started putting C's on the jerseys. 1967 for the Broncos. Floyd Little was a captain. Bo Nix a captain right out of the gates. Here's both Bo Nix and Sean Payton on the fact that Nix was given that distinction for his first season.
Yeah, it's an honor. It's a privilege. I'm excited to be with this group. Excited to be a captain. I don't take it lightly. I know it's a big deal, and it hasn't happened often. But I'm not going to take it for granted. I've got to come to work every single day and just prove that you can be a captain. But I'm excited to work with these other guys, and I think it's good that we can get out there and set the tone. And it's always good to be a captain.
So first for me, just say rookie period, in fairness to the process. And yet, I think it is what it is. I think it's, a credit to him and I think his teammates, felt that he belonged in that position.
Sean Payton, trying to find another Drew Brees, and there were moments in the preseason where Bo Nix looked a little Drew Brees-ish, someone who can run that offense exactly the way Payton wants, add in new plays on the fly, put him in the walkthrough in the ballroom at the hotel the morning of the game and figure it out and make it work, make all the checks at the line of scrimmage, get the plays called, get the plays communicated, and be very robotic in doing exactly what Payton wants. And Nix is the guy that Payton wanted. I mean, and who knows how much of it's revisionist history or it's self-serving, but it sure sounds like the Broncos sat back and hoped that Nix would be there at 12, and were pleasantly surprised that he was.
Yeah, and he wanted Patrick Mahomes in that draft, and I think if he'd gotten Patrick Mahomes, he would still be coaching the Saints, but now he's in Denver and has Bo Nix as his franchise quarterback. And Nix isn't your average rookie, Mike. He started 61 college games at Power 5 schools, I guess Power 4 now, but when he was playing, it was Power 5 schools at Auburn and at Oregon, and played great at both of those schools. So opposite of Anthony Richardson, who hasn't had much experience, has not started many games, this guy has started a ton of games, which gives him an opportunity to be good right out of the gate.
And those are the three who will be starting right out of the gates. We could still see Michael Penix Jr., but that would be only in the event of injury. And we know that J.J. McCarthy won't be playing. He's on season-ended injured reserve, and Drake May could make an appearance if Jacoby Brissett would be injured. And I feel like at some point this year, May will become the starter. Penix ideally won't. So we'll have 4 most likely at some point, unless there is that injury, and then we could have 5 of the 6 rookies playing this season. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.